Did you see that? That little green rocket just pulled a high-speed maneuver to chase a rival away, and it didn't even break a sweat. We are talking about a bird that weighs less than a nickel, yet it has the territorial aggression of a fighter pilot. If you've ever sat on your porch and felt a sudden whoosh of air past your ear, you weren't being attacked. You were being assessed by the most high-octane athlete in your garden. This is the ruby-throated hummingbird, and while we often think of them as delicate garden ornaments, they are actually tiny feathered dinosaurs with a metabolism that would literally melt a human being.
This is the ruby-throated hummingbird, the only hummingbird species that regularly nests in the eastern half of North America. But did you notice that flash of red? That's called a gorget, and it isn't actually made of red pigment. Just like the blue of a blue jay, that colour is structural, meaning microscopic scales on the feathers act like tiny prisms to reflect light back at you. If he tilts his head just a few degrees away from the sun, that brilliant red disappears into a dull velvet black. Now, look at the one without the red throat. That's the female. And here is something that usually surprises people. In the world of hummingbirds, the females are actually substantially bigger than the males. Scientists think this extra body mass helps them stay warm while they're sitting on their tiny walnut-sized nests. But don't let their size fool you. Both males and females are absolute dynamos. To stay alive, these birds have to consume between 50% and 100% of their body weight in food every single day. That's the equivalent of a human eating about 150 pounds of food in 24 hours.
Here's the crazy part. Look at those wings. Most birds fly by flapping their wings up and down, but a hummingbird's flight is a complete reimagining of physics. Their wings are attached to a tiny, incredibly powerful ball and socket joint that allows them to rotate nearly 180 degrees. Instead of just pushing air down, they twist their wings in a figure-8 pattern. This creates lift on both the forward and the backward stroke. It's why they are the only birds on Earth that can fly backward and upside down with ease. Footage. Super magnified drawing or clip of a hummingbird's tongue entering a flower. Now watch what happens when they actually sip nectar. For years, we thought their tongues worked like tiny straws, just sucking up liquid. But recent scientific discoveries have shown that the hummingbird's tongue is actually a high-speed automatic pump. The tip of the tongue is forked and lined with tiny hairs. When it hits the nectar, the tongue actually zips open, traps the liquid, and then snaps shut as it pulls back into the bill. They can do this up to 20 times a second. Did you notice how they always find the red flowers first? Hummingbirds are hardwired to be attracted to the colour red because, in the wild, tubular red flowers like trumpet vine and cardinal flower are their primary high-octane fuel sources. But here's the twist. Red can also mean rival, because male hummingbirds use their red gorgets to signal dominance. Wearing a bright red shirt in your yard might actually trigger their territorial aggression. They might buzz you, not because they think you're a flower, but because they're trying to figure out if you're a massive intruder. Now, look at this. If you want to keep these dynamos safe, there is one major don't you need to know. Never, ever use honey in your feeders. Well-meaning people think honey is natural, but it ferments much faster than sugar and can cause a fatal fungal infection called glued tongue, where the bird's tongue swells up and they can no longer eat. The only safe recipe is a simple 1:4 ratio. 1 part white granulated sugar to 4 parts water. And you don't even need the red dye.
The red plastic on your feeder is more than enough to grab their attention.
Did you notice how busy they get right before the sun goes down? They are stocking up for a journey most of us can't even fathom. Every autumn, these tiny 3-gram birds prepare to migrate. Here is the no-way science. Many ruby-throated hummingbirds fly 900 miles across the Gulf of Mexico in a single non-stop flight. They can't land on the water, so they have to fly for 18 to 24 hours straight, navigating by the stars and the Earth's magnetic field. But even crazier, they have an extraordinary spatial memory. Research shows they can remember the exact location of every single flower and feeder they visited the year before. If you have a hummingbird show up and hover right where your feeder used to be before you put it out for the season, that's not a coincidence. She remembered your yard as a safe node on her map and expected you to be ready for her arrival.
No way! Fact 1. The nighttime shutdown. Footage: night vision infrared shot of a hummingbird perched on a twig, looking completely motionless, almost like a statue. Think birds just sleep at night? Hummingbirds take it to an extreme called torpor. Because their metabolism is so high, they would actually starve to death in their sleep if they didn't slow down. At night, they can drop their body temperature and slow their heart rate so dramatically that they appear to be dead. It can take them up to 20 minutes just to wake up their internal engines in the morning. If you ever see a hummingbird hanging upside down on a branch at night, don't touch it. It's likely just in a deep state of energy conservation.
No way! Fact 2. Tail feather music. Did you hear that sharp chirp during his territorial dive? Here is the no-way anatomy. That sound isn't coming from his throat, it's coming from his tail. Some hummingbirds have specialized feathers that vibrate at a specific frequency when they reach high speeds during a dive, creating a mechanical call to impress females or scare off rivals. He is literally playing his feathers like a musical instrument.
So, the next time you see that tiny green blur in your garden, remember, you're not just looking at a cute bird. You're looking at a high-speed survivalist that just finished a 900-mile marathon and is currently using an internal Facebook-like neural network to map out your entire backyard. The relationships we build with these birds are real, and they start with just one clean feeder and a little bit of wonder. What birds are you seeing in your garden right now? Have you ever had a hummingbird wait for you to put the feeder out? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Thanks for watching Feather Files. I'll see you in the next one.